Hey guys, this is Dan with Gears and Gadgets. Thanks for tuning in. We are out here. This is Bulldog Canyon off-road vehicle trail, just northeast of Phoenix. Here we have a very muddy RZR. This is the Pro R 4-seater. Now, I've actually had one of these, or I had my hand on one of these at an event a while ago, but this one I've actually had at my house at my disposal for a couple of months. Now, unfortunately, it has been the hottest summer of record.
31 straight days with highs that are above 110, a new record. 17 days with highs that are above 115, a new record. And the thermometer reaching 119 degrees 3 times this month, also a record, the hottest month ever so far in the city of Phoenix.
So I have not come out here up until last weekend, where I had the chance to bring my sister and my brother-in-law out to enjoy what these RZRs have to offer.
That's cool though.
Alright, now we have our waypoint in there. I love this mapping. It's nice because it gives you the ability to not focus really so much on where you're going in fear of not being able to get back, but it gives you the ability to enjoy the ride. I love the electronics here. They are fantastic with pretty much all Polaris products. So a big mission of mine here as we're going to get out on the trail is to really start diving into these side-by-sides and try to figure out, like, hey, maybe what is the best option out there. Now this one is the Pro R4. It's got 225 horsepower and it is all there. I mean, this is an absolute monster when it comes to off-roading. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best for everybody, including myself. I am looking at these machines and trying to figure out, like, what is maybe the best family experience type machine, and that's kind of what I would be looking for. Looking at the General, what I had a few months ago, bringing that out here and then comparing it now to the RZR, especially with this top trim line model, is the suspension travel on this is night and day better than what it was on the General. The General is not bad, but you do feel a little more in the seat when you're hitting these bumps. With this RZR, with this Fox suspension, it just soaks everything up. I've got cameras on the suspension and I can assure you that they are showing much more movement than what I am feeling in the driver's seat, and that's really what makes this RZR Pro R shine, is its ability to just eat this stuff up. Now, as you start going in these things even faster, it starts to eat those bumps up even more. These machines, as I've learned, they like to go fast. The suspension really eats this stuff up kind of the faster you're going. Now, you still have to be careful because you don't want to hit anything that's gonna, you know, send you toppling over. But through all of this washboardy stuff, the faster you kind of go through it, the more it floats over it, and it's really a fantastic and almost like surreal experience. So you hit these bumps and you almost like clench, like you're gonna feel it, and there's just like nothing there. I guess if there was ever an argument to be made that you could have too much horsepower, which you can't, this might be that. You know, you've got 225 horsepower, I believe, and it's unleashing it is so much fun. But with that fun comes responsibility, especially out here on the weekends. You know, if you go out here during the week, you can kind of have a little bit more open throttle fun, but on the weekends there's a lot more people that potentially could be out here and coming around these blind corners. You know, you don't want to be tapping into that 225 horsepower as somebody else is doing the same head on. That would not be a great day. But there's plenty of opportunity on straight runs out here to unleash that power, and it is just a monster. I've been out here now in my pickup truck. I've been out here in the General. I've been out here in the RZR. And it's interesting because When you're out here in your pickup truck, you're really slowly rolling because your suspension doesn't have that much travel, and it's just less, I guess, enjoyable because of it. I don't want to say it's less enjoyable, it's less desert Baja running vibe. Now when you get out here in the General, sure, you can get out here and open it up a little bit more on some of the open spots, but you do have those clenching moments where you're like, oh, a big bump and I gotta slow down. With the RZR, I feel like you really can just sort of throw all caution to the wind, which is a little bit concerning at times because, you know, these things, they're not invincible. You can roll them. You know, there's some safety things to that, but this tapping into that turbo is just a stupid amount of fun. This got delivered to me with no mirrors, and I actually ordered this mirror because I don't like not being able to see what's behind me. If somebody's coming up behind me, if I'm being slower on the trail, I really like to have trail etiquette and be able to get out of the way. I just really like having that rear view mirror. I actually ordered side mirrors, but I didn't put them on, mainly just because I had this thing parked for so long. Had I have taken advantage of my ability to have this for 2-3 months and been using it more frequently, I would have put those side mirrors on as well. But this isn't mine, and I'm actually almost towards the tail end of my loan here. So I just tossed that mirror on today for this specific trip. If I were to own one of these, I no doubt would do the street legal conversion, and having the mirrors would be an absolute necessity in that process. But you know, that's just kind of me. Now, yeah, coming through this stuff here, these are like non-existent bumps, which is mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing that it responds in this manner to these kinds of bumps. I've also got some adjusters here so I can switch between sport, rock, and race. And all of those different modes are going to dial those shocks in to do different things. I'm just going to leave it in sport. I feel like that's probably like normal mode because honestly it's just super comfortable. These Fox shocks, again, they are so capable of soaking these bumps up. I couldn't, unless you experience it yourself, it's really hard to describe how comforting it is to just hit through stuff like this and have no problems whatsoever. Now this spot right here, I have gone up this thing in my truck, the General. I did this last weekend with my sister and I was really blown away. This has all been kind of washed out by rain, kind of bad, but with this RZR, I don't even have to really pick a line, I don't feel. I can just come through here with absolutely no problem at all. This spot is my absolute favorite spot in this whole trail that I've run so far. It's kind of like one of the first stopping points. I love turning the machine off, stepping out here. The serenity that you get out of this area is unreal. The people who criticize others who buy this kind of equipment and look at it like they're just wasting money have absolutely no perspective. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's also dwarfing. Like, you come out here and just feel small. It's so hard to describe. This is why you buy these kinds of machines. Whoa, geez Louise. That speed also with this soft stuff. I don't even know how fast I was going. I'm probably like 60 something. You know, the issue with that speed, especially in this soft stuff, is as you get into it, when you hit that really powdery sand, it just takes you wherever it wants to take you. And that's what I'm talking about. With great power comes great responsibility. You just got to watch that. 65 miles an hour. And then when you're slowing down, it just kind of takes you, you know, you kind of float through that sand. But it's really a great experience. What's crazy is to think that a race, factory race team that Polaris announced, they were gracious enough to allow me to come out to that event, and you know, they had me going 90 something miles an hour on open flat desert, and to think that I'm doing 60 and white knuckling the wheel really makes you appreciate the skill level of those drivers. And as he said to me, brother,
Yeah?
how do you not fear catching a tire going sideways like that?
You gotta stay in it.
You just got to stay in it. There's times when that's just a level of balls as the thing is floating around all over the place. You just got to stay in it. Just absolutely bonkers.
So my camera actually cut out before I was able to record the outro. But what I wanted to really get across with these RZRs, especially the Pro 4R, with the Fox Live Valve suspension, this is the closest that I think your average person like myself is going to get to experiencing what a trophy truck can possibly provide. The fact that you can just hammer down on these things and pretty much sail over any terrain is pretty crazy. Now, I don't really know in terms of durability what really would come from prolonged hammering down like that, but I do think modest off-roading, and I'm talking spirited modest off-roading, this thing can just eat it up all day long. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to continue with this side-by-side comparison series that I've kind of been doing here for like the last year. I'm really getting into these machines, and I just want to know really all about all of them. I'm just really enjoying getting out and just experiencing the outdoors like I never have before. And I think that anybody who's watching these videos probably would watch them trying to figure out kind of the same things that I'm trying to figure out. So I'm trying to do it for you. What side-by-side is best for which scenarios. And I'm having an absolute blast. So with that being said, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. If this is your first time tuning in, please hit that subscribe button down below. Remember, likes go a long way to help support the channel, and I will see you guys next time.